What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Dylan. Today we're doing a Q&A. I asked you guys some questions. I asked you to ask me some questions. It's a Q&A. Whatever. Let's get into it. So Jane asked, "What is your favorite part about being in the army and why?" That's kind of tough, honestly. Like, I love the camaraderie aspect of it, right? Like, I made some great friends in the military, and some of the training that we get to do is pretty awesome. Like, I just did a course called Combat Lifesaver, which is pretty fun. Shooting some of the guns that we get to shoot is pretty awesome. You know, there's some situations where you just have to laugh too. We have a saying in the military that's embrace the suck. So my birthday this year, April 5th, I was sleeping in a tent in the middle of the woods while it was snowing. It's like one of those things where it's like, this sucks, but what are you going to do about it? You know what I mean? Amanda asked, "What is your favorite place you've ever investigated?" That's really tough, first of all. We get this question all the time, but we go to a lot of cool locations all over the US and Canada, and we hope to go international soon as well. But right now, I'd have to say the Crescent Hotel in Eureka Springs, Arkansas, just because not only is it crazy haunted and has a really cool history, but it has modern, luxurious accommodations. And it's in the Ozarks, middle of the mountains, beautiful. So I would have to say the Crescent Hotel is up there for me. Got a few people asking here, why did you join the Army? So for me, it was multiple things, right? Growing up, I thought it'd be like really cool. You know, I grew up watching the movies, seeing all the military vehicles and whatnot when we went to fairs, like the helicopters, the Humvees, the up armored vehicles and whatnot. So there was that aspect, kind of like the patriotism, you know, wanting to join and serve my country, but also the benefits, the educational benefits. I'm currently putting myself through college with the educational benefits offered by the Army. You get cheaper healthcare, even being in the reserves. So there's a lot of different benefits you can have access to. It's like 10% off at Advanced Auto. It's freaking go. You know, there's a lot of stuff that goes into it. But our friend Jade over at Ghost Club Paranormal said, "Do you prefer blondes or brunettes?" Yes, both, I guess. Kind of in that same vein, too, got a question. Are you still single? Yes, I am, actually. So being on the road so often and never really being home, it makes it very difficult to have a relationship. So right now, I'm just living, you know? Like long term goal, I would love to settle down, have a family and everything, but it's just not really feasible right now. I'm on the road all the time between the Army and ghost hunting, doing both the events and filming. So maybe one day, but not today. Amanda asks, favorite location that you do events with, Haunted Nights? I think that is a different dynamic at every location. Absolutely, there definitely is a different dynamic at every location. Um, Favorite place to do investigations at public events, though. I mean, I think Moundsville is always cool because it's so massive. Like everybody can just spread out and do their own like little mini ghost hunt, basically. And then at the end of the night, we can reconvene and compare experiences. Like maybe someone went into Red Cell's area, like the max security area, and they heard a door slam at midnight. And then 1 hour later, a different group was in there and a different door slammed. You know, you can like compare. It's pretty cool to do. August said, "Any chance of a podcast episode soon?" Listen, I'm getting YouTube started. All right, maybe I do like one a year. Okay, Ghost Generation, go check it out. I have a couple episodes out, but it's an inside joke at this point. If you guys don't know, I am like not consistent with it at all. So trying to do one thing at a time here. The homie Dustin asked, he asked a couple questions. So he said, least favorite workout movement. Personally, I think pull day is the worst. I don't know why. Always going into pull day, I'm usually just not motivated. And when I am motivated, I'm like really excited. It's gonna be a great day. I had some good pre-workout, slept on the right side of the bed, whatever. I do bent over rows and gone. All happiness, all energy, gone. So I don't know, maybe pull day in general or bent over rows. Like bent over rows I like as a movement, but they just zap my energy. I don't know. I don't know if I really have like a least favorite movement. I mean, maybe like Bulgarian split squats. Those are pretty awful. He said, "When are you going to compete with me?" CrossFit's scary, brother. But then he said, "One real one. What's your largest long term goal for yourself?" That's tough. I'm going to get deep right here, all right? So, growing up, I was not very nice to myself, right? I was very hard on myself. I was a stickler with everything. If I didn't get an A or if I didn't get an A plus, then it was like totally failure. I shouldn't have shown up. Even in like gym class, if I wasn't winning kickball, I was just like beating myself up. I should have missed that. I should have ran harder. I should have done this. I should have done that. So going into middle school and a little bit into high school, I became very reclusive. I just shut myself out. I didn't do any sports anymore. I didn't join any clubs or anything, and that did not help my case at all. You know what I mean? I would sit inside and play video games all the time, and I had some great times playing video games with my friends online. But more recently, I found that I love the gym. I love going hiking. I love kayaking. I love all of these other things. And I got into sports my junior year of high school. I was like, this really isn't that bad. I joined clubs, I joined sports, and now there's part of me who's like, man, if I just wasn't so hard on myself in middle school, my entire life could have been different. Who could, I'm not that coordinated, so I'm probably not going to be like a sports player, but I could have joined clubs way earlier. I could have done sports longer. But hindsight's 2020. So all in all, I would say probably just be nicer to myself. Growing up, I also really struggled with anxiety, and I hated being the center of attention. So public speaking, being on camera like this, awful. Could not do it. If you guys watched the first couple Sam and Colby videos that we did, I was always in the back. I was always very quiet. I would say a couple words because I didn't want to like trip over my words and have that be on a YouTube channel that had 4.5 million subs at that point or whatever. So I don't know. I guess as a general goal, just be nicer to myself and keep trying to break out of my comfort zone, because the comfort zone is truly where progress dies. So if you're comfortable, something's wrong with that. Let's keep that in mind. He also said grape versus strawberry Uncrustables. Grape all day. Do not at me. Don't even start. A couple of people asked, when's your birthday? My birthday is April 5th. I'm an Aries. I don't know what that means, but that's what I am. Ariana asks, what type of music do you listen to? I listen to pretty much anything. Country, metal, rock, dad rock, pretty much anything. I can get into like some Vivaldi too, like some classical music, but most of the time I find myself listening to The Amity Affliction, Breaking Benjamin, 3 Days Grace, Sleep Token, Bad Omens, I Prevail, bands like that. I'm always looking for new music too. Amity Affliction was one of those bands that I got really heavy into the past probably like year and a half, and I keep going back and into their discography and finding new music that I either just skipped over or listened to once and didn't really vibe with. And I'm finding some of my favorite songs. One of my new favorite songs is Misery by the Amity Affliction. Great song. And I totally skipped over it at first. I listened to it once and I didn't really vibe with it, but then I went back and re-listened. I'm like, this is fire. What am I doing? Ember said, what did you think of the BO6 beta? So funny story. If you guys don't know, if you don't follow me on Twitch, first of all, go down below, follow all the links down below. Instagram, Twitter, Twitch, all that good stuff. And I do live streams over there. I bought BO6, Black Ops 6, to play the beta for a live stream. And Spectrum, my internet is so bad. I paid for the 1,000 megabit plan. I checked, I did a speed test. I was getting 4 megabits. That's no joke. I have a screenshot. And they basically just said, sucks. So I tried to do a video. I uploaded it on this channel, but it uploaded in 720p. I don't know why, but it's pretty good. There's a lot of people doing like slide cancels and like jumping around the map, doing crazy stuff. I can't keep up with that. I'm an old head. I'm like Black Ops 2, kind of Black Ops 3 movement styles. The whole wall running stuff kind of throws me off too. I was pretty good at it though, low key. Put me in phase. I used to do trick shot compilations. Maybe I'll pull those out of the vault one day. But yeah, pretty good. Hailstorm asks, what made you join the Army Reserves and why? I would love to hear more about it. So this story I've told a couple times, but it's basically my biggest failure, right? Coming out of high school, I was looking into joining West Point or going to West Point, because what you do is you go through 4 years as a cadet and then you commission into the Army. It's the most prestigious military academy in the U.S. And I got one of those letters that say, hey, you're a smart kid. You should go to West Point, whatever. I got it in the mail. And I applied to West Point the first year. My run time sucked, though. I had like a 7-minute mile, 7.5, 8-minute mile, something like that. And they wanted like 6 to 6:30. So the following year, I went to basic training. I trained up for it. I took the test again. They told me that I had the grades for it. I had the leadership for it. I had the prior service. Since I already went to basic, they can call it prior service. But they said that I wasn't getting in that year and that I should reapply the following year. By that time, I was just burnt out. So I stayed with the Army Reserves. My initial plan was to go into either federal law enforcement or local law enforcement. And then we filmed with Destination Fear. I was like, cool. I get to be on TV before I go into the Army. Then we filmed with Sam and Colby. We filmed with Destination Fear again. We met Colin, the Paranormal Files, met Kalani, all these different people we've had the awesome opportunity to work with, and just kind of stuck with social media. So I'm going to give this some time, see how it goes, and go from there, I mean, I don't know where I'm going to end up. I never envisioned I'd be filming on my phone in my spare room right now, but here we are. Also, guys, this room is supposed to be my office at some point. That's why we have some of my fan art up here. Thank you guys. First of all, if you guys were the ones that made this, you are very talented. I'm not. One day, this is going to be my streaming room. We just don't really have it set up yet. I don't know if I addressed that in the beginning of the video. So, a couple people asked, what was your favorite video to film? In terms of activity, I feel like the Oliver House was one of my favorites, just because it was something we didn't really expect. Like, we always go to asylums and hospitals and these big, scary, terrifying locations. And sometimes we get some good activity, but it's never usually like mind-blowing, right? We went to the Oliver House, very historic house, very cool, but didn't really expect anything crazy. And we had some intelligent activity there. Devices going off. We got some cool EVPs. We were hearing stuff like footsteps and voices. So pretty cool spot. It's definitely up there with my favorites. I don't know if I can pick one singular favorite video that we've ever filmed. That's tough. Darby over on Twitter asked, if you had to live in any haunted location, where would it be and why? So if I get to like live there and also have the accommodations, I'd probably say the Crescent, because it's like it's a functioning hotel. They have a pool, they have food and stuff, you know. But if I don't get the accommodations, if I'm not hungry, if I'm not tired or whatever, probably Wilson Castle. I don't know, because it's a castle. First of all, it's in the mountains of Vermont. It's beautiful. The sunrises are amazing. Stained glass windows, wonderful carpet, wonderful history. I don't know, Wilson Castle probably. So Chase asks, how many videos don't get posted due to lack of or inconclusive evidence? So that's a really good question. Sometimes it's just not really active. We filmed at some locations for 13 or 14 hours, just straight. Like we filmed enough for like 3 videos probably. Only for an hour and a half long video or an hour long video. That's one thing you guys don't really see. You don't see how long we film for, how long we sit in a room and just talk to ourselves with nobody responding. And when you guys come to events, a lot of you comment on that, like, oh man, it's already been an hour and nothing's really happened. It's like, that's how it goes. That's how ghost hunting is. But I don't think we've ever had to can an episode just because travel, locations, everything is so expensive. We have to get a video out, but sometimes videos are just a little bit slower. There's not as much going on. Maybe we're talking a lot more. So, yeah. Haven said, if you weren't doing YouTube and the Army, what would you be doing instead? I think I'd still be doing the Army, you know, the West Point story. If I got into West Point or if I just went into the reserves anyway, I think I'd still do that. My initial plan was to go into local law enforcement or federal law enforcement. I'm still currently in college. Well, I'm getting back into college. Took a few semesters off for Homeland Security and Emergency Management. So probably somewhere in that field, either something to do with law enforcement or maybe I would have went full-time Army. I'm not entirely sure. Supernatural Train said, what's your favorite place you've investigated, favorite piece of equipment, and advice for beginners? Favorite place, Crescent Hotel. I think I touched on that earlier. Favorite piece of equipment, I would have to say either DR60s, the voice recorders, which is a hot take. I know some people get upset about that. Video coming on that probably soon. But the REM pods and millimeters are cool too, because when the REM function actually hits, like someone's actually touching it, that's cool. Doesn't happen a lot. And advice for beginners, just do it. If I was good at editing, I could put that Shia LaBeouf clip. Just do it. You know what I'm talking about? But literally just find some friends or find people that are local to you. Make friends that are into ghost hunting. Find a local museum. Maybe they don't really do ghost hunting right now, but if you tell them, hey, I'll pay you $100, a couple $100 to come in after hours and film for a YouTube channel or go live on TikTok or go live on Instagram or whatever, I'm sure they're not going to be opposed to getting more money for staying open a couple hours. You know what I mean? Skyla asked over on Twitter, if you could travel back in time and talk to your younger self, what would you say? Probably stuff in school doesn't matter. You know what I mean? If you want to join a club, if you want to do sports, if you're scared of being laughed at because you're going to mess up, who cares, bro? Who cares? You know what I mean? Like I was talking about earlier, I was very hard on myself, so I always was worried about how people perceived me or what they thought of me, and it just doesn't matter. You know, a lot of these people that I went to high school with that maybe were like the jocks or bullies to other people. I didn't really get bullied. I was pretty lucky in school. But these people I never see. I never interact with. Every now and then I'll see a post on Instagram, like recommended to my feed. You may know them or whatever, but that's essentially it. Or I'll see them at Walmart in passing. Hey, what's up, man? That's pretty much it. It doesn't matter. If you want to join a club, you want to start a YouTube channel, you're scared of being laughed at, who cares, bro? Carter, my friend, from high school, actually, Kryptonetics, he said, what's your go-to post-gym meal? Honestly, I'm not on a really good schedule right now. I eat the same thing every morning. So I eat a fiber bar, I eat a Nutri-Grain bar because they have iron in them. What are they called? They're like little fig bars. They come in packets of 2. I don't think it's Nature Valley. I think it's raspberry flavor. It's like a red package. If you guys know what I'm talking about, drop it down below. Drop a comment. I can't remember what they're called. Whatever. And a grape Uncrustable. That's my morning meal. It's like 800 to 1,000 calories, something like that. So nothing too crazy. But post gym, I usually fast for a while. You know, which probably isn't good. I should eat protein immediately after, recoup my muscles. But I don't really have a dedicated post gym meal, honestly. I've been eating tuna a lot recently. Tuna's kind of fire. Tuna, I always try to go for something hearty, right? Beef, like cheeseburgers, steak, something like that. But as for an actual post gym meal that I eat like consistently, non-existent. Aaliyah said, what type of haunted locations do you prefer to investigate? Houses, jails, asylums, etc. I mean, like I said, the Oliver House, that really surprised us, right? Like unassuming, little cool house, historical house, and had some great activity. I mean, I like the aesthetic of the hospitals and the asylums and the jails, but houses can really surprise you. It just feels weird too going into some of these because they feel lived in, right? Like this historical figure, this person lived here. This was their home. This is where they came home to every day. This is where they worked out of. Weird to me. I don't know. But places like Trans-Allegheny, the beautiful, huge open asylums are also really cool to investigate. A couple people asked, when is the next Sam and Colby collab? Honestly, never know. Collabing with people, it's a lot of fun. We love doing it, but it's hard to set up. So we live in upstate New York, all the way in the Northeast. Our friends like Kalani, he's down south. Sam and Colby are out west. Destination Fear is out west, or Project Fear. Our friends are all over the country. Ghost Club, they're out west too. So trying to find a time when we're both teams or both groups are in the same vicinity and they can link up for a day or two to film a video, it's very difficult. So we'd love to collab with them again, but we don't have a set schedule one right now. Trisha said, why did you start ghost hunting? Love you, Haunted Nights. Subscribe to Haunted Nights, the ghost hunting YouTube channel if you're not subscribed already. But I started ghost hunting because I grew up around the paranormal pretty much my entire life. Grew up in haunted houses and apartments. Really quick, sidetrack. This one apartment that I lived in, I had a loft bed, and every single night, like on cue, I would always hear footsteps coming up the stairs, right? And one night, footsteps came up the stairs, door opened, whatever, scary, it's fine. And then I fell asleep. I ended up waking up and my nose was touching the ceiling. Like I only had a couple feet of like space anyway, but for whatever reason, I woke up and my nose was touching the ceiling, almost like I was floating. And all I remember is I fell back down on the bed and I was freaking out. I sat up. I went over to my ladder to like get down, and then I got a bloody nose. I bled everywhere, bro. It was really annoying. But it's stuff like that. I grew up happening to me, you know. And I grew up watching the TV shows, Ghost Adventures, Ghost Hunters. I thought it'd be so cool. And then Steve had a group where he did public events around local historical sites, where we would raise money for the location and just do a little public ghost hunt. It was a couple hours. I went to one of those public ghost hunts and I was hooked instantly. We had some really cool activity at a location close to us called the Parks Bentley House in Monroe, New York, and the rest is history. I joined that group. I went to haunted sites all around the upper U.S., Northeast, Wilson Castle, Washington County Jail, Madison. Those are I feel like the main spots. Hillview Manor we went to, and then Haunted Nights got launched in 2019. We launched YouTube in 2022. The rest is history. So Sad Girl Town Music said, workout routine, bro. Right now I do push-pull legs. I should do cardio and calisthenics a lot more than I do. I do it a little bit because, the ACFT, the PT test that we do in the Army, I have to be good at running. I have to be good at planking and just like other body weight movements. For the most part, push-pull legs. So first day push, I do chest, shoulders, triceps. Second day, I do back, biceps, deadlift. And then the third day, I do legs, and I'm supposed to do cardio, but I've been pretty bad about it recently. So tell me, do my cardio. Comment down below. Do your cardio. Freaking do it. Gal said, what is your favorite part of investigating? I'm a huge history buff, right? So being able to go to these locations, learn the history, walk around these grounds that have been around for 100, 200, sometimes 300 years, that's really cool to me. Like the paranormal is awesome, don't get me wrong, but being able to go to all these forts, all these asylums, these houses where historical figures roamed around, that's so cool. I don't know, it's a really cool way to see the country. We went all the way out to California, Colorado, Wyoming, South Dakota, places I never thought I'd ever see in my life. So it's just really amazing to be able to travel the country and learn about all these historical figures and see these historical sites in person. Because like places like Villisca, the Winchester Mystery House, you see them on TV, you read about them in magazines, and you're like, oh, that'd be so cool to see. It's like then you walk into them, and it's surreal. It's mind-blowing. Got a question, how old are you guys? I'm 22. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I'm 22. All right, I ran out of storage on my phone, so guys, make sure you like, comment, and share this video so I can eventually get a camera for the second channel. But let's keep going here. How do you have the motivation to work out? Some days it sucks, right? You have to get into a routine. Like I said, sometimes I suck at doing calisthenics. Sometimes I suck at doing cardio. But it's more the discipline. You have to do it, right? Maybe you don't want to do it, but you know you're going to be healthier. You're going to be able to move better. You're going to be able to pass the PT test. Whatever your goals are, you just have to do it. Just got to send it. Just do it. And then last question I got here that I'm going to do. Ali said, I'm looking into being an MP in the Army. Would I have to do any special training? Yeah, so you do. It's called OSIT, One Station Unit Training. You go to Fort Leonard Wood, Missouri. You do basic training and tech school in one duty station, so you don't have to move, which is cool. But you also keep your drill sergeants. So if you have a drill sergeant that's like extra mean, makes you do a lot of push-ups, well, I guess not really mean. They just care about you a lot and they want you to do push-ups and be strong. You keep them throughout the entire cycle. So I think it was 21 weeks total. Basic is 10 and tech school is like 11. But during the tech school portion of it, you do more law enforcement related activities. It's a good time though. It's the funniest place you can't laugh. And I had a great time personally. I had some great memories. I still have some friends from basic training that I talked to today. But thank you guys for sending in questions. Let me know what you think of the setup. Hopefully, I'll have the office set up here soon. Also, this mic is from TikTok. Let me know if you prefer this mic or just the camera audio that I used in the past couple videos. Because I don't know. I haven't listened to the audio yet. But hope you guys have a great day. Thank you again for watching. Make sure to like, comment,